Hello, and welcome to the weekly service for Between the Worlds Church. Between the Worlds Wiccan Christian Church is intentionally radically inclusive, and we welcome all persons of any race, color, age, ancestry, sexual or relationship orientation, body size, gender, religion, or any other difference. We respect each other and remember that all of our beliefs are equally valid in the eyes of Spirit. We love all of the deities that are represented in our virtual congregation, and we include Jesus in our spiritual practice, however he may come to us. I'm Reverend Gina Pond, and I welcome you to our midweek online service, and hopefully a good 20 minutes of spiritual reflection. We will be doing a Eucharist today, so if you'd like to participate in the Eucharist, you can get a small bread-like thing and a small cup of drink of your choice. This week also is the first week of Advent. Advent officially starts on Sunday, but since we have Wednesday service, we are starting today. And I don't think there's any other announcements, except that I might be doing one of our services from Majorca at the end of the month. So, well, actually, I will be doing one of our services from Majorca. So that should be interesting. So let us call in the elements. Spirits of the east, of air, may we always gain new knowledge and the resources to recognize our truth. Spirits of the south, of fire, may we always call on our passion to drive us and to do the work that Spirit has called us to do. Spirits of the west, of water, may we always remember to acknowledge the feelings of others and find our compassion. Spirits of the north, of earth, may we always remember that no matter who we are part of the earth and that we are made from the earth and will go back to the earth. And spirits of the center, that which we are, may we always hold each other up through the bad and the good in any way we are called and able to serve. And today I'm calling in Jesus and Mary, as it is the beginning of Advent and the start of awaiting the birth of both the Son and the Son. So, if you'd like prayer said for you, or if you have permission from another to have prayer said for them, you can post them in the chat. And today, Ray is praying for her dad who has medical testing related to a heart valve replacement, and hopefully all that testing will help them heal and help him get better. So I hope that goes all good, Ray, and he gets what he needs done. I'd also like to say prayers for all those getting socked by the winter storms in the Northeast in the U.S. today, in the last couple days, and prayers for the immigrants at the border, the Mexican border, who were getting hit with tear gas and bullets. Trying to get asylum into the U.S. And also to the woman who died in ICE detention, a transgender woman. I also say prayers for her. She died in ICE detention because they beat her because she was transgender. So prayers for everyone who is being hurt by bad political policy, basically. And yeah. And I'll give some space now for any prayers that you'd like to say to yourself or for others. Spirits of the universe, hear our prayers and help those who need all our help. Oh, Yes, Michael. Definitely. And for those who are suffering losses in Paradise, California, definitely. That was pretty rough. Pretty rough fires these last few weeks. And that's an understatement, I know. So, spirits of the universe, hear our prayers for sure. Okay. So, today is the first week of Advent. And if I had a candle, which I'm going to get some candles, I hope. I just forgot to get them this week, but before service today. We are lighting the first candle, which is called the Prophet's Candle in some traditions, and we reflect on hope. And what's been really kind of hard for me recently is that even though I'm supposed to do this sermon on hope, I've been kind of finding it hard to kind of get into that hope vibe, especially since the last few years have been really hard and hard for many people. And it seems hard to keep hope in your heart. There's just so much negativity and hate and violence that kind of seems like hope is more of a luxury than a necessity. But I'm not gonna lie, I've always had some sort of spark of hope that remains persistent no matter what I do. It always fights. That spark of hope always fights to be recognized, and it's kind of like a little kid waving to its parents from across a crowded plaza, yelling like, "I'm here, I'm here." And it's kind of like that childlike part of myself that knows that they'll find their parents eventually, and they don't have to worry about things. Things are all going to work out in the end. And I also kind of see it as part of the part of me that also has kind of my mame, or my grandmother, her voice. She always seemed to find hope no matter what. Like, even when things were horrible, she just would always tell me that things may be sad or hard right now, but it's always changing and that tomorrow's a new day. She always seemed to find the good in something, like good in everything, really. Like, she was a cool lady. And I think there's even just like an optimistic part of my brain that just wants things to be okay. And like that little part of my brain just can't fathom that things won't get better. So whatever that spark is to me and what it is in me, I do know that that spark has been a lifesaver for me as well. I mean, when I was suicidal in college, it basically saved my life. It kind of poked its head out when I was in the middle of all that and going, "What the heck are you doing?" And I ended up being able to go and get the help I needed for my depression after that. And, it's always been something that kind of keeps my anxiety and depression from taking complete hold of me, especially when my depression gets really bad, like when I'm really down in the real low end. It's always there, and it always tells me, take that one more step, write one more word, get out of bed, take a shower, trust a little bit more. You're gonna get through. And during the season, there are many other Christians that will say that, you're waiting for Jesus to bring us hope, and that we're preparing for hope to change the world. And that's always been kind of like, I'm not sure about that. I'd argue that we're not waiting for Jesus to bring us hope. We're cultivating the spark of hope that becomes Jesus. We're cultivating that best part and best quality of Jesus and what he represents. And it's kind of like we're more like on the side of Mary, right? Like, who's pregnant and has hopes and dreams for her son. And she's seeing all these things and like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And I hope that things are going to work out all right. So we also have our hopes and dreams for the coming year, for the rest of our lives. And not only for us, but for the whole world as well. We want to be able to see the world as a good place, as a place where we can belong, as a place where we can fulfill our hopes and dreams, just that things are going to be okay, right? But in our current reality, it's really hard to maintain that sense of hope. I mean, with all the politics, with the fighting and divisiveness and a lot of hate floating around. And also during the winter months in the northern hemisphere, especially right now, it kind of makes it harder to feel like hope because the days are really short and the nights are really long and you're not getting as much sun. And so, when things are like this and it's winter and all that, it's kind of hard to feel like there is hope at all. And, even if you feel that way, that's okay. Because we're not required to be hopeful all the time. I mean, even in this season where we're bombarded with the messages that we should be hopeful and happy, sometimes we need others to be hopeful for us. We need our friends and family who do have some hope to help remind us that there is some in the world and that there is good in the world. Sometimes even strangers you meet on the street can give you some hope for the future. Like, I know for me, it's the little things, like when somebody holds the door open for somebody on the tram, or when I see someone helping a homeless person, or when I help a homeless person, or when someone in my family sends me a note saying, "Hey, I'm thinking of you." Or when my wife just texts me during the day just to say I love you. And, we have to remember that we're human and we can't really live alone, not entirely anyway. And when our hope feels lost, we can always try and find more. It's not ever completely lost. And sometimes we have to find it outside ourselves to rekindle that spark of hope that's inside of you. And it doesn't mean you have to be happy and bubbly all the time. It just means that you found something to keep you going when everything else is dark. You can walk that one more step. You can write that one more word. You can trust a little more. You can give a little more love. It's the little pieces of hope that can help. And believe me, the little pieces can add up. So let us pray. Spirits of the universe, may we find hope in the little things and collect the smallest sparks to light our way through the darkest nights. And if we can't find it in ourselves, let us hope through others, and may we in turn inspire hope in others. Let us bring hope into the world that reflects the hope that the sun and the sun bring into our lives during this season of Advent. Amen. All right. So it is now time for Eucharist, and if you would like to participate, hopefully you have your little piece of bread and your whatever fluid you wish. I usually have water, but you can have whichever you wish, whatever you wish. So take your bread in one hand and your drink in the other, and repeat after me. Blessed be this bread, fruit of the field and grain, the body of earth and of sacrifice. Blessed be this drink, made from the lifeblood of the earth, through which all life was born. May this sacred meal nourish me so I can nourish and care for others. Dry cracker. All right. So, crackers. So, thank you to Jesus and to Mary. Thank you to the spirits of earth, water, fire, and air. Thank you to all of you who have joined me today. May you go in peace and blessed be. And if you're new and you would like to ask some questions in chat about this service or Between the Worlds Church, I'll be here to answer questions for a bit. Otherwise, have a great week and have a great first week of Advent, and we'll see you next time. You're welcome, Ray. See you next week. And thanks for joining us, Mike. And whoever the third person is that joined us today, thank you. I will certainly tell Sarah you said hi. She's in work right now, but yes, I will let her know. Yeah, I know. It is pretty early there. You can always watch these services later too, so yay for YouTube recording. All right, since that seems pretty much it for now, I will see y'all next week and have a good one.